You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but do you recall?
What's up, guys? This is your friendly neighborhood extreme Spidey guy here, and today I'm going to be doing a double feature review on two versions of How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 2000. So, the 1966 special is directed by Chuck Jones and Ben Washam, and the 2000 movie is directed by Ron Howard. So, first, I'm going to be getting to the 1966 special from Chuck Jones, which which was based on the 1957 children's book of the same name by Dr. Seuss, and tells the story of the Grinch who tries to ruin Christmas for the townsfolk of Whoville below his mountain hideaway. Originally telecast in the US on CBS on Sunday, December 18th, 1966, it has gone to become a parental holiday special. The special features the voice of Boris Karloff as the Grinch and the narrator. So, what's the story for the Grinch special? Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, and everyone likes How the Grinch Stole Christmas a lot. This joyous, heart-tickling holiday event, based on Dr. Seuss's beloved book and featuring the voice of Boris Karloff, has delighted all ages since its 1966 debut. So, what are my thoughts on this special? This special would have to be one of the best Christmas specials I've ever seen, and one of the best holiday specials I have ever seen in my life. Boris Karloff definitely nails the voice performance as the Grinch and his narration during the film. June Foray definitely nails the voice performance as Cindy Lou Who, and Thurl Ravencroft and Dallas McKeenan definitely give out phenomenal voice performances as well. The songs are definitely phenomenal in this special, such as "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," and "The Who Doris, Welcome Christmas. The animation is definitely phenomenal as well. The direction by Chuck Jones is definitely phenomenal as well. And the music by Albert Haig is definitely phenomenal as well. So, the special starts off as the Grinch is surely a social green creature with a heart of 2 sizes too small, who lives alone in a snowbound cave atop Mount Crumpet. Located above the village of Whoville, especially hated Christmas and has always been annoyed by the town's Christmas celebrations. One Christmas Eve, he finally decides to stop Christmas Day from coming to Whoville by disguising himself as Santa Claus, his dog Max as a reindeer, and in a rehearsal of Santa's visit, stealing all the presents, decorations, and symbols of Christmas. Once loaded, he planned on dumping the bags of stolen goods. He is noticed by a girl named Cindy Lou Who, but is otherwise detected. As the Grinch reaches the icy summit of Mount Crumpet, ready to dump the bags, he discovers that the citizens of Whoville, despite having no gifts or decorations, have gathered in the middle of the town to sing as Christmas Day dawns. Realizing that the Christmas means more than just a material possessions, the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes. He saves the sleigh, returns the presents and the other belongings to the Who's, and joins the town's Christmas celebration by carving the roast beast, and Max gets the first slice. There is a lot of heartwarming and heartwarming moments, and the ending scene was definitely phenomenal as well. And the MGM Studio Chorus definitely did a phenomenal job as the citizens of Whoville. Now, are there any bad qualities I have with this special? Absolutely not, and here's how I'm gonna rate it. I am going to give the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas a full solid 10 out of 10. And now for the 2000 movie, directed by Ron Howard, which is narrated by Anthony Hopkins. It stars Jim Carrey as the titular character, with Taylor Momsen, Jeffrey Tambor, Christine Baranski, Bill Irwin, and Molly Shannon in supporting roles. The film centers on the Grinch, a misanthropic green creature who lives in the cave, on nearby Mount Crumpet and desires celebrations as he attempts to sabotage their holiday plans in Whoville. Produced by Imagine Entertainment, How the Grinch Stole Christmas was released by Universal Pictures in the US on November 17th, 2000. It initially received mixed reviews from critics, though Carrey's performance and the makeup have received praise, and it has since gained a cult strong following. The film spent 4 weeks as the number one film in the US and grossed $345.8 million worldwide, making it the sixth highest grossing holiday film of all time, behind Home Alone, until both films were surpassed in 2018 by the third adaptation of the story. It won the Academy Award for Best Makeup, being nominated for Best Art Direction and Best Costume Design. So, what's the story for this movie? Well, in this live-action adaptation of the beloved children's tale by Dr. Seuss, the repulsive Green Grinch, played by Jim Carrey, decides to ruin Christmas for the cheery citizens of Whoville. Reluctantly joined by his hapless dog, Max, the Grinch comes down from his mountaintop home and sneaks into town to swipe everything holiday-related from the Who's. However, the bitter Grump finds a hitch in his plans, where he encounters the enduring Cindy Lou Who, played by Taylor Momsen. So, what are my thoughts on this movie? This movie would have to be one of my favorite guilty pleasures of all time, and one of the best holiday movies and Christmas specials I have ever seen in my life. Ron Howard's direction is definitely phenomenal. The narration by Sir Anthony Hopkins is phenomenal. Jim Carrey definitely nails the performance as the Grinch. Taylor Momsen, Jeffrey Tambor, Christine Baranski, Bill Irwin, and Molly Shannon definitely give out phenomenal performances as well. The cinematography is definitely phenomenal. The music by the late James Horner is definitely phenomenal. The screenplay is definitely awesome as well. The editing is good as well. And there's also some heartwarming moments, like in the 1966 special, and I also love the Grinch song in this movie, even though it was done by Jim Carrey and had I know it had the same lyrics, but I loved seeing how Jim Carrey actually sang it, and it was definitely phenomenal. So and the backstory of excuse me if I burp though, and the backstory of when the Grinch's childhood enemy, arch enemy, the mayor of Whoville, he wanted to get revenge of him because he picked on him for being a bully. And then his crush accidentally wanted to join the Grinch as well. So the film starts off as the inhabitants of Whoville prepare for Christmas. The Grinch, a hostile green creature who lives in a cave on Mount Crumpet, desires the holiday and attempts to sabotage their plans. 6-year-old Cindy Lou Who, who believes that everyone focuses too much on gifts and not enough on personal relationships, Cindy encounters the Grinch at the post office and falls into the giant mail sorting machine, but the Grinch grudgingly saves her. Cindy learns from the townsfolk that the Grinch arrived in Whoville as a baby and was adopted by two elderly women. In school, the Grinch was frustrated with Martha May Hoovire, a girl in class by ridiculous jealous classmates Augustus May Who. That Christmas, the Grinch made an angel gift as a gift for Martha, then attempted to shave his face, accidentally cutting himself several times. When May Who, the teacher, and the rest of the class saw the result, all but Martha laughed at him. This caused the Grinch to lose his temper, declaring his hate for Christmas and flee to Mount Crumpet, as he lived solitary, scheming for the rest of his life. Cindy nominates the Grinch as the town's holiday cheermeister, outraging May Who, who is now the mayor. She climbs Mount Crumpet to invite the Grinch to celebration, and eventually accepts, realizing she could potentially encounter Martha, now the Who's neighbor, and upset May Who. As cheermeister, he participates in various events and begins enjoying himself until Mary Who gives him an electric razor as a gift. Her engaged the Grinch and snaps and berates the Who's for their avaricious, can't pronounce that word right, love for Christmas. He shaves Mary Who's head, burns down the Christmas tree, and makeshift a flamethrower, and goes on a rampage before returning home. Leaving that the Who's have a spare Christmas tree, and disgusted with the continuing festives, the vows to crush the town's spirit by stealing all their presents, decoration, and food while they're asleep. He disguises himself as Santa Claus and his pet dog, Max, as a reindeer, and descends into Whoville on a high-tech sleigh. The first house he enters is Cindy, when she catches him for stealing their tree. He lies to her about the facilitate her escape, which Cindy and the Grinch really have great chemistry with each other, just like in the 1966 special. Sorry about that. He single-handedly strips the entire town of Christmas cheer, stuffing everything into a giant sack, then climbs back into the summit of Mount Crumpet to hurl the sack off to the mountain. Awakening on Christmas morning, the people are horrified to discover the left, and Mary Who blames Cindy for enabling the Grinch to ruin the town's spirit. However, her cheerful father, Postmaster Lou Who, defends her, declaring that she has tried to tell them that Christmas is not just decorations and gifts, but about spending time with friends and family. The townfolks agree, join hands, and begin Christmas caroling. Just as he is about to push the sack off the Mount Crumpet, the Grinch hears people singing. Realizing he has failed to prevent the festives, he understands the true meaning of Christmas as he breaks down the tiers, the sleigh full of gifts, the Christmas trees and decorations begin over the edge of the cliff, along with Cindy, who has came to visit the Grinch and climbed aboard. The Grinch saves Cindy and the sleigh. They ride down the mountain to return everything. He apologizes for their scheme and surrenders to the police, who spare him and ignore Mayhew's demands to arrest and pepper spray him. Realizing Mayhew's cruelty, Martha returns his engagement ring and declares her love for the Grinch. Later, the reformed Grinch invites the townsfolk over for dinner for a Christmas feast, where he personally carves the roast beast himself in the cave. The songs are definitely phenomenal as well, such as La Honduras. And like I said, the Grinch theme is still phenomenal as always by, by Jim Carrey, and it doesn't matter what version is actually better. Now, are there any bad qualities I have of this movie? Well, I would say there's probably some gross out jokes and probably some adult jokes. But it's still a guilty pleasure in my opinion, and here's how I'm gonna rate it. I am going to give the live action version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas a 9 out of 10. So tell me your thoughts on both versions of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Do you love them? Do you hate it? Do you hate them? Do you think it's okay? Do you think the original Grinch special is overrated? Do you think the 2000 movie by Jim Carrey is underrated? Just let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you all later.